we'll go from there. So welcome back. Hope you've been doing pretty well. Let me get the form pulled up too. I mean, obviously this is round 2, so whatever you want to go over, we don't have to go over all the details in between. But obviously you spend a lot of time filling out the form, so I want to make sure if there's any new questions that have come up. So how's practice been? Obviously it's been quite a while since our Moira stuff way back in the day, but how's it been going?
Yeah, it's been good. So I think from that time, like I'd taken a little bit of a break because I'd been grinding a lot, and like I'm just the type of person when I play these games, like I like to make sure I'm enjoying the process. So
smart.
I think because like this is my first, like I didn't play Overwatch 1, the first Overwatch game I've ever played. So, and it's really the first game I played like competitively, in a sense. So when I first got into it, like January, December, playing competitively, like I really got into it and I got like frustrated with it. So I took a little break and then I came back, and I feel like since our last coaching session, what was I like? I think I was
Plat.
like like low plat maybe, or like high gold or something. So now I've been like consistently like D5, D4. And now it's just a matter of like trying to figure out a way to get kind of out of that, because I feel like I can stay at that rank with any of the heroes I play in support, like whether it be Moira, Mercy. Like I've been playing more Ana Zen now.
You've seen the light.
Yeah, like I'm still pretty flexible, but it's like I think where the issue lies is in a few just macro kind of components, and I mean I'm sure the micro as well, but
sure.
I was thinking maybe just kind of catch up, see where things are at, and maybe if there's any room for improvement there.
Okay, I mean, I'm seeing, like you said, the macro thing in your form. You say, what do you feel is holding me back from improving? You say, at this point, I have almost 1,000 hours in the game. I feel like what's holding me back is understanding compositions, map control, prioritization. Mentioned you had an issue with autopiloting last session, which has definitely gotten better, but still lingers. Because since I have trouble figuring out what to focus on going into game, because there's so many things we potentially thinking about. Yeah, I mean that's the tricky part. It's like when you don't give yourself a specific direction, you're gonna autopilot, you know. And again, autopilot doesn't necessarily mean that you're not focused. It just might mean that you're not focused on a specific thing. 7 hours per sleep. Could be a little higher. I just hit Master 4 in Mystery Heroes, and I'm happy about it that I should be, but it's my first Master's rank, so I don't care. Congrats.
I hit top 500.
No. No. I know, that's insane. Congratulations. You know, I think. But yeah, seriously, congrats on the diamond stuff. That's obviously that's a huge step forward. So congratulations, because you're actually good at the game now, officially, statistically. Let's see here. I'm looking through your form here. Nothing really super crazy here. Now, I guess maybe just a little side note here is why the transition to other supports? Just to try them? Did they stick? Were they just fun? Like, what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I think like I don't even know why I initially started playing Moira Mercy. I think I was just kind of like messing around, but then as I started to play more supports, I wanted something that was a little bit more like challenging.
Yeah,
I guess you could say, because like, you know, Mercy's fun and all. It's fun to like fly around and evade people, and like it feels like you're playing well, but it doesn't feel like I have as much direct control over the game. And like, you know, with Moira, it's fun to just like, you know, you get those little like easy kills and like assassinations and stuff. And I don't know, but it feels like brainless. Like when I go into those games as Moira Mercy, it just started to feel very like mindless. Like I'm just kind of like, all right, like, you know, do some damage, heal, like with Moira, weave, but it's, I don't know. I wanted something a little more challenging, a little bit more like, I don't know, I guess interesting. So I started playing Ana a little bit. I've always liked Zen, but I never really gave him a shot like in the competitive scene. And I just had a lot more difficulty playing them, which is fun. Like I enjoy that.
Yeah, it feels like Moira and Mercy are like very like fluid, you know, kind of like flow state, relaxing, not relaxing necessarily, but just very like get the basics, do them well. And then Ana's end, there's just a lot more nuance, you know. Certainly more mechanical nuance.
Ana, like, there's just so with Ana, like there's just so much to think about where it's like, should I be like doing some more damage, like poking their back line because I got a sniper, like I can do that if I want to, or maybe focus more on like healing or just how I'm utilizing my nades and my sleep. Like there's just so many more things to think about as opposed to just like, all right, I'm just gonna latch onto this soldier and damage boost or like you know get behind the tank as Moira, try to pull off some assassination. So, Moira is a bit more fun than Mercy, but still, I just think there's a lot more to think about with Ana, or even like Zen. I mean, Zen with Zen, the positioning is just killing me. Like, you know,
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there. I mean, I think all roads lead to Anna's Zen, at least with anybody with a brain. I'm half joking here, but it just feels like there's a lot more reward for your effort with those heroes, which I think is useful. Do you have any questions about training time, training schedule, structure? I mean, these are all things that we touched on in our first review, so I don't want to be repeating myself too much here.
yeah,
But if you have any questions that have come up.
yeah, I did want to ask you. Like, I think one of it's not really a big problem, but I feel like there's a little issue as far as warming up. I remember the last time we spoke, like my warm up hasn't really changed. Usually, what I do, I know you recommend like the try hard free for all lobbies and stuff
It's
like
not going
that,
to be
but
in
yeah,
console though.
yeah. I mean, I can still get into them. It's a little tougher, but um, I think like usually what I do is I play like just 3 unranked role queue games, just kind of try to get in like the mindset. But
Yeah,
it still takes me like I feel like it still takes me like 5 or 6 to really get into a flow where I'm
yeah,
actually like thinking. I mean, we might even see in this VOD here. Like I was playing yesterday. This is one of the first few games I played, so I feel like my mechanics are a little like off. But as I started getting the swing of things, I was winning more. But I didn't want to give you a VOD where I won, you know.
it doesn't matter
So,
that much,
so
but
I'm
yeah, I hear.
sure there's still some stuff to break down, but it's like stuff like that. Like I'll play 3 games and I'll jump into competitive, and I'm still not really warmed up until like the 4th competitive game. Like it kind of takes me a little bit.
Hmm.
So I don't really know if there's like a better way that'll work for me to warm up, but
Yeah, I mean, the answer to that question is always, yeah, probably. Like, everything is nuanced. Even, like, health advice is nuanced. Like, there's some objective truths, but how they're applied to every person, like what you should be eating, depends a lot on the person-to-person basis, right? So, something with Overwatch, absolutely, right? Now, my question, though, is when you say, I feel like it takes me a while to warm up, in what regard? Like, mental alertness, mechanics, both?
yeah. So a little bit of mechanics. Um, like for instance, I mean, maybe we'll see in this VOD. Like first few games I was playing, I was a little off with the shots for heals and stuff like that when I was playing Ana. Um, and also just like you said, the alertness, like just basics of like, okay, where am I positioned? Like I'll find myself in these early games, just like, why am I sitting out in the open like this? Like just not
Yeah,
thinking. But like once I get into the swing of things, I'm better. But it's like
sure.
it takes me a little bit to actually get that full focus, I
Okay, so,
guess.
so here's a couple of ideas to throw your way, and
Mhm.
take note of these and do with these as you will, because I don't really know if any of them are going to apply to you, but some of them might, some of them may not. It's probably worth experimenting with, and that's the biggest thing that I would take away from this is experiment. You need to experiment more with that.
Yeah.
First thing I would do is like if for mechanical alertness, deathmatch, even if it's just unranked deathmatch, it's just going to be better than unranked. There's just more combat, more fighting. And you need to make sure, obviously, as well, that you are playing the heroes that you're playing in ranked as well. There's just, if you're playing quick play, it's just not going to be enough instances of combat compared to deathmatch, I guess, for the mechanical side of things.
Yeah.
Now, for the general alertness, I mean that's tough because you're also like you're a working guy, right? So like you're pretty busy, and so by the time you get to Overwatch, when do you usually play Overwatch?
Um. Usually at night. I'm a consultant. I'm off of a client right now, so I'm actually not really doing
Right,
much as far as
but
work.
off
So
and
I
on.
have time to play during the day and stuff. But
Okay.
yeah, when I'm working, usually at night, and then yeah. But
Yeah, Yeah, so I mean, it might be that like you're just not like, okay, there's like a psychological strategy of a warm up where you ever seen like when they get ready for a big game or when they go up to, okay, here's a great analogy. You watch much baseball, you see a batter come up to the plate. A lot of these batters will have like different routines. They like tap the corner and then they like tap the wrists and, you know, whatever, they adjust their hat. The reason they do that is part of it is like, you know, baseball is notorious for still being superstitious and all that stuff. But really what it does is it's like a psychological cue that now is the time to focus. Where you're basically, your body it goes, oh, we're about to okay, think about it as like a Pavlovian response, right? The bell rings, the dog salivates. You do X, your brain knows, oh no, we're about to hard focus on rank, time to like actually turn on a little bit here. That's kind of like what we want to aim for. So what that might be is that might be doing like taking a 5-minute walk, doing a couple of push-ups, grabbing some water, refreshing your notes on what you're trying to work for the day, doing that death match, even, you know, like giving yourself something of a routine, and then when you go in, you're giving yourself as much energy as you can. But I would test with different like little lifestyle things going into that, you know, like making sure that you're getting enough sleep, making sure that you're maybe getting a little bit of blood flowing with just a little bit of like really, really light exercise for just a few minutes before you go in and play. Anything along those lines, just to kind of get yourself alert and engaged, and just be consistent with it. And then what I would do is experiment with what seems to work better for you. And really, like, if you want to be super corny with it, I don't know how serious you are about this, but you could keep a little journal. You know, I really took me forever to like get engaged today, you know, or I was like alert like from the very first game, you know, and try to see if you can track any of the variables. You know how people like keep a sleep journal, keep an Overwatch journal, and try to find out like what are the factors here. Like, we don't want to be obsessive about it, but just for the sake of like, I wonder what cues me to kind of compete better. You know, is it a little bit more sleep the night before? Is it you know, doing that 5 minute of exercise? Is it taking a short walk? Is it doing something around the house first? Is it the death match, or is it the quick play? I actually like the quick play better because it makes me feel more like a real game. I don't know. For me, it's like it could be a lot of different things, and I think it's way too personalized. So my thing for you is like, I just encourage you to experiment with it more. If it's not just mechanical prowess and it's like alertness, then I don't think I have a one size fits all solution for you. I think you need to go test different things.
I feel like sometimes, now that you brought up the baseball analogy, I feel like now that I think about it, sometimes when I make my coffee, that's like the cue that I'm about to zone in for the game.
Sure. I mean, that could be it, right? Right, that could be it. I mean, that could be it, because like they really encourage people to do that, especially with like people. Not, this isn't you, but for other reasons, like competitive anxiety a lot. Because if you're focused on doing your routine, you're not focused on like, oh no, I have to win or lose the game afterwards. But there's also just the benefit of it. It just gets your brain ready to compete. Yeah,
that makes sense.
But like I said, more than anything else, just try stuff. See what works for you. See what doesn't work for you. Because I think that's an art more than it is a science. Okay.
That's more of like a person by person type thing.
Yeah.
Like your own way of warming up. Yeah, I get it.
Exactly. And so I can give you some tips and stuff, but really it's gonna be up to you to figure it out, and you know, without being obsessive about it. But maybe there's a couple of small things that might help you with that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. Any other questions?
Let's see. No, I mean, I guess we'll talk about it once we go into the VOD. Just a few things I put down. Like, I feel like tracking ultimates, I'm really bad at. Like, I never do that. Sure. And yeah, positioning was the only other thing. Just focusing on like where I'm gonna be depending on the map and stuff.
Okay, sounds good. Can you rejoin the stream? It can be a little bit weird when I restart it. You have to like click on my face, then click off, and it's weird.
Oh yeah, I see it.
You back in? All right.
Yep.
Let me get this all situated here. So Zen.
Yeah, I think I started out as Zen and switched to Ana.
Alright, let me get all the settings situated here. And let me know if at any point in time the bitrate like gets so bad that you're like having a hard time seeing, and we can like pause it for a second and kind of like let it settle down. Okay, so obviously you said that you've maybe not been as clear with what to work on, so you've been zoning a little bit, but has there been anything even in the last few months with Zen that you were trying to work on, or like, okay, this hero does this, so I'm gonna try to do this?
Yeah, I mean, so my general, I guess, approach going into a game with Zen, just based on like, I mean, I've watched some of your videos and some other like guidelines and stuff. Just kind of, if there's like a long kind of alley, just poke. Like if you're moving in and out of cover, you want to charge your shots, and
Yeah.
if like people are out in the open, you want to use your primary fire.
Yep.
And kind of just orb people on your team who are being aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Discord people who are a threat to your team, stuff like that.
Okay. Okay.
That's sort of the main kind of mindset I have going into the game.
Sure.
But yeah, sometimes it feels like it's hard to get value out of him. Just like if I'm not hitting shots, I feel like if I'm not hitting shots, I'm like almost kind of useless.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely weaker. I guess for you, especially, like, it seems like you have like a decent enough foundation of like what the hero should be doing, but you specifically said that sometimes you feel like a little bit overwhelmed or a little bit lost, and even like some of the macro stuff, like in your form, you're like, I don't know what I should be doing about like map control. Do you know where your ignorance lies there? Do you have any questions or things that you want to look at specifically with that, or is it just more of I don't know it because I don't know it?
It's hard to say. I mean, I guess we'll see. We'll
Okay.
watch the VOD.
Okay.
I haven't rewatched it yet.
Okay,
but-
sounds good. Sounds good. So we'll just see what we see. So, pretty good comp here. Kiriko Zen. Orbot can be on really any target that's under pressure. Okay, nice. Picking a nice sight line. Pushing forward as your team walks forward. There's really not a whole lot to say here. The Discord nerf range feels so bad sometimes, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna let things play as much as I can. Nice. Good orb. Good orb. Good orb. Good orb. A little bit of cycling here, but a lot of people have been crit kind of squishies wise, and you haven't had to really have to do
that's
much.
like one thing that's hard to pick up sometimes. Is like who I should be orbing if everyone's crit.
Yeah. Always prioritize the squishies, obviously, at that point in time. But I think so far you've done a pretty good job of that. Because that 30 HPS is going to matter a lot more for them than it is for your Winston. Okay.
At this point, I'm telling everyone to fall back.
Yeah, I mean,
chat.
it's whatever. It's whatever. You're doing fine. Somebody's got to push.
Yeah.
You guys are snowballing nicely. You could probably leave here. This is like a tiny little detail, but you can leave here and peek for a quick shot because it's like I think it's 8 seconds for him to unlock again.
Right.
So you got time to do a quick peek. Just keep charging those right clicks, and honestly, at this point, I would just disengage. Run.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. You can actually disengage out this direction here, and then you're good to go.
Right. Yeah. There's a second here where I'm like, okay, what do I do? And
it's fine. If you die here, it's fine too. Just die. Yeah, you're not.
I decide a little too late, but I think I might still get out. Or no.
No way you get out.
I think I almost get this Doom. I'm like so close.
I mean, it's good shots, but yeah, you just staggered yourself. Okay, let's keep going. So far, the only little detail that I'm seeing that could be a little bit, I think, is you could be a little bit on first fight, could have been a little bit positioned a little bit closer. Even with the Doomfist, because it was just the Doomfist, I think closing the distance a teeny bit would have been okay. And I think obviously cover usage could have been a little bit tighter here and there as well. But nothing super major so far.
Okay.
I mean, it's whatever. I actually kind of respect you not trancing when you saw your Widow die. So you're like, okay, we lose this fight. We go next. Okay, let's keep going. Wait.
Like she said, I remember she said hi to me before she died. She knew we were screwed there.
Oh no. Oh no, and this death, oh no, and this death is disastrous. No! Dang it, man. Dang it. Ah. No, not again, not again, not again. Please, no. Okay. So this is just a little bit silly with the trance, all right? You gotta know your Sombra has Translocator, right? You gotta know, right? In addition, if yours, in fact, I think you actually trance before your Sombra actually even uses her Translocator. So why do you trance here? I want to hear what you got. I want to hear what your thoughts are.
I don't know. I think it could have been a little bit of a panic ult because I saw a bunch of like the whole enemy team there, and like
Yeah.
Sombra was crit and Winston was crit. But see, this is one of the things I was kind of talking about in the forum when I was like, I don't really know what to focus on going into a game. Like if I go into the game focusing on just what I'm doing and not as much like how you said, like that Sombra knowing she could just, TP out.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not even paying attention to that. I'm just like, oh, she's crit. Like, let me pop this. Or,
I mean, I think you pop it before she's even crit. You know, she's just yellow. So I think the reason why this is really dangerous is because your trance doesn't swing fights like this. You know what I'm saying? It takes your damage and your Discord off the table. At least if you have Discord applied, it stays. But right now, your team's not going to kill anybody.
Yeah.
They need you to kill somebody. Now, you said you trance here maybe because you don't think about the Sombra Translocator, but you need to be... Here's the way I would like to think with trance. If there's somebody crit that you could save, maybe it's okay to use it. Otherwise, I want you to try to use it either counter an ultimate or you basically save your life. Take an aggressive position, make them dive on you, then trance to counter their aggression onto you. But get as much aggression out of it as you possibly can. This... I mean, nothing's really going to happen. You see, your team misses your damage too much. So I don't know. Let's keep watching. How many codes do you have, by the way?
I have another one. From that, I have another one that's like a longer game on King's Row.
Okay, let's keep going.
Overtime.
Let's keep going with this one, but I might want to take a look at that one too.
Okay.
Okay. Nice. Nice. Okay. Let's keep watching.
What do you think about me just the way I'm like always charging my shots? Is that something that's like kind of useless? Or I feel like just to get max value, I'm always at least charging up.
It's totally fine.
Cover.
It's fine. It's fine as long as you're behind cover and there's nothing else to be shooting. It's fine. I mean, yeah. So, helpful. The key thing is to not, as you were talking earlier, is to not get into the habit of just charging right clicks for the sake of charging right clicks. For example, if you start charging a right click right now, you're trolling. Because you have somebody directly on your screen. You need to be mashing down that mouse one button.
Yeah.
But you do, so you're fine. This guy's fuming.
So fun just being slippery with Zen.
Yeah, that was good. It's good use of cover.
No better feeling than killing a Sombra when you're on Zen.
See, this is where we gotta look really carefully. What do you think about this trance?
Experience nothing.
It's kind of not necessary. Because, I mean, you see the rest of the team, the rest of the enemy team is not even really, like, on us.
Would your Widow die without this trance?
Wait, who is that behind the wall? Is that a Moira?
Moira was the one that was killing your Widow, yeah. With the Sombra had the hack as well. She was doing some damage too.
I think she could. I don't think she has an orb on her.
Well, right. So that's my first point, is that she didn't have a Harmony orb, right? Yeah. Now that's not going to stop the Moira from out DPSing it, but maybe it buys enough time to get the Moira out, right? Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way, okay? I would have loved for you to react faster with Harmony orb on your Widowmaker. That's the optimal solution here. You didn't because your Winston was engaged. I get it. You trance here. Would your Widow have died without this trance? Yeah, possibly. There's a pretty decent chance that she would have died here. So is this trance okay? Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. I don't love it. Not a good. I wouldn't say it's a good trance, but it's not a bad trance. And the reason why that's important is because we're not setting the bar super, super high right now, right? We don't need to. We don't want to. We want to set it to correct the mistakes that are reasonable and most important for you right now, and let some of the other small stuff slide. Does this trance make sense because it saves somebody's life? Yes. Okay. And you know what? The Moira dies, the Widow lives. Maybe you win this fight off of it. And that's the goal with an ultimate, right? The goal is to win fights. Maybe you win this fight because of that, right? I will say with Doom, you really got to do a better job like playing around cover and like being a little bit slippery, because this is not bad, but like you can avoid it. Like you just need to move, you know, or at least make it harder for him. Like you're doing right there, that was good.
Yeah.
You know, don't just give up the ghost just because he presses Q, you know?
Yeah.
I don't blame you because this is a really difficult position, but what is the problem with your position right here? Think really carefully.
I don't really have an escape route.
Okay, you're thinking too hard. Because you're right, that is an important aspect of a position, but it's not the most important position. What's the most important? What are some of the most important things to have with the Zenyatta in positioning?
Really just any kind of cover.
Yeah, cover sucks. What else is the problem? Two important things with Zenyatta 99.9% of the time. Cover and... Let me cheat for you. Watch this. Who wins a 1v1 right here?
Between me and Reaper?
Yeah.
The Reaper.
Why?
Because it's close range.
Yeah.
Does a lot more damage.
What about the Sombra, or honestly even the Moira, right? And the Doom. You get my point, yeah?
Yeah, I don't have any kind of range on them.
At all. You ready for a smoking hot take? It would be better for you to be sitting by yourself over here on a flank than it would be for you to be stacked with your team right here. Now, I'm not saying that that's the best position. There's probably a better position. Where would that be?
Maybe over by the what's it called? That little edge down by the I don't know if that's where the Widow is.
Like over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. This is probably the best position for you. I mean, this is an awkward position, like this map is. You know, like there's no real great positioning here, but this is objectively better in terms of both cover and range, right? Especially in range, right?
Right.
So get here. There's just no way that you can survive here. You know what I'm saying? You have to create some sort of a distance. Now, before they were on Widowmaker, which definitely added some complexity to things, but they're on Sombra, Reaper, Doom, Moira.
Yeah.
You could smoke Reaper at range, you know? You saw you beat a Doomfist essentially in a 1v1 because you took him down to half HP before he got on top of you, right? There's no opportunity for you to do anything here. So, you know, you're cooked.
Yeah.
So
see, it's interesting that you say that about how it would have been better off if I was just by myself in that other, like by that doorway, because I see so many Zens like just in my time playing, like when I'm not on Zen, I'll see my teammate like in that kind of position. I'm like, I wonder why he's just like by himself like that. Right.
Now you don't optimally want to be always by yourself, but the distance is the safest thing that you can have a lot of the time. I mean, there's some exceptions. I think like if a Sombra were to come and solo hack you, if the entire enemy team can reach you like in one step at point blank range, you're screwed. Your hero sucks at that. Do you want to look at some Zen stuff from the King's Row code?
We could. I might have more time on Ana on King's Row.
Okay.
But
Okay. Do you have any time on Zen on King's Row?
yeah.
Let's take, even if it's just a couple minutes. Let's just. I feel like I would feel more confident if we had just a few more fights to throw.
Yeah, sure.
And then we can come back to this code.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty gonna start out on Zen King's Row. Should be the right code.
Okay, got it.
Ready for battle.
Okay, let's take a look. See, the thing is, it's like, you look at this and you're like, ah, crap, Widowmaker. But, Moira Cassidy Doom. Right? Mm-hmm. So if you can keep your distance from Moira Cassidy Doom without peeking the Widowmaker, you're cooking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because especially, like, you just don't want to get close to those characters. Now, if you want to, like, roll the dice and, like, pull a quick flank and smoke them, that's fine, but it's got to be quick, right? You stay there too long, that cast grenades you, that Doom punches you, the Moira orbs you, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you even see it here, right? Watch. You've got a nice sight line here. Spam. Good. Doom goes in, but Doom goes in on who? Or on whom?
Wait, where is he? I don't even see him. Oh, on Hanzo?
Yeah, I mean, he's just on the clump of your backline. But do you see how, like, but you see that little gap between you and the rest of your team? It basically allows you just to, like, you know, smoke a blunt and light him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's literally no pressure on you at all right now. You're just chilling.
Yeah.
So it's about taking an aggressive sightline, but not necessarily aggressive in terms of proximity all the time. Oh.
Yeah, she smoked him.
Okay. Maybe Widow is a point blank hero. My bad. I would have kept Orb and my Ana there. Mm-hmm. I mean, and even this here, right? I think, like, what you're doing here is okay. Just would have kept my Orb and my Ana.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of have, like, that's like what I was saying before. I have that tendency when I think, like, more than one person's crit, I'll just keep, like, switching orbs around.
Yeah,
I won't really keep it on.
Yeah. It's scary because if you switch the orbs too much, then you're missing out on damage, and that's what's really going to keep your team alive, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, you guys have got to stop shooting Genji deflect. That's the third kill he's gotten from that. Holy crap. Good positioning. You might die. I mean, I actually, okay, I do want to compliment you. Do you feel how this feels so much easier? You know what I'm saying? And, like, you're doing decent damage. Like, again, you see the range here, right? How many times have you been dove by Doom or Genji? You know?
Yeah.
Not once. Not once. Okay, small detail though. Mm-hmm. Winston's bubbling, Doofus is using cooldowns. What should you be doing right now?
Orbing, should orb the Winston?
Well, okay, either he or Hanzo here, right? Either one's fine. But
I thought that was a Moira.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, it's stream quality. You're fine. But why are you charging your right click right now? What do you see on your screen? Do you see the? You don't even need to know what the characters are, right? But you see.
Yeah, there's like
this, right?
Two right there. Yeah.
Shoot him. Light him up. Stop ducking behind here. take a sight line, take your angle here, start pumping these guys full of lead. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like the twofold thing for you. You sometimes get a little too close, and then when you have a nice long sight line, you're too hesitant. You charge right clicks instead of just lighting them up like a Christmas tree, right? Shoot them. Shoot them. You're safe here. You've got cover here. Use it. Spam it. More damage. You kind of see what I'm saying? So for you, it's about a little bit more distance sometimes and a little more damage. That's kind of what we're looking for. Okay. Do you have your distance? If so, damage.
Yeah.
Good. Yes. And that's one of those circumstances where you're so focused on getting that right orb, you don't do any damage for long enough, and then now you're dead. Yeah. Let's look at one more fight here. Oh, that's unfortunate. Maybe. It just feels like an endless cycle of like orb, harmony, orb, right click, like harmony. But like, where was your damage there? Where was your damage? Where was your right click right there? You know, you peaked. Where's your damage? Right?
Yeah.
So it feels like your damage uptime is like, again, you're ducking behind cover, or you charge a right click. Okay, good. Cycling orb, charging right click. Good. But right there, where you look at the doom, you don't shoot. And maybe he was charging, you know, but right here, damage. Maybe. Cover. Ha! There you go. So every time you peak with damage at this distance, something happens. You need to do that more. Good. See it again. Look how much damage you just did there.
Yeah.
Damage. And see, even here, check this out. So you take a little bit of damage, you duck a little bit behind cover, but really you don't need to be, so you go back here and you charge a right click. You're charging a right click here because you saw Sojourn had rail, correct? There's a very, I don't know if you saw it.
I don't even know if that's what it was. This might have just been out of habit.
Okay, yeah. but that's the only reason why you would duck behind here, correct?
Right.
Because there's nothing else that's going to one-shot you, so you need to keep doing more damage, right? So when there's something that's a one-shot threat, use cover. Hanzo, Widow, something like that. You need to stop at the proactive trancing. It's not like rally or beat where you can press the Q and walk in and keep doing your thing. Remember, your team loses your damage. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like it's like you're saying it's not really like a fight initiator.
No, exactly. It's not. And when you end it with distance, maybe. Nice. Good. Keep shooting. You got the HP, you got the distance. Keep shooting. Shoot. Keep shooting. Nice. Shoot. Nice. You know, you're actually managing your distance pretty well, but the damage has been very weak. I think that's the key takeaway here. It's the amount of upkeep of damage. Okay, so let's go back. Let's finish with Zen here, and let's take a look at some Ana. So, what are some details with Zen? What are you seeing?
I think main thing is just trying to break the habit of charging in open space. Like if I have shots, just spam the left click, using PC terms. Just spam left click. And yeah, I guess just I think trance is an issue as well. Understanding the right time, or not even like the right time, the wrong time to use it, when to not use it, more so.
Very good. Very good at reacting, not very good at initiating. Right? That's the key takeaway. Yeah, 100%. Okay. And I would say it's just maintaining an aggressive sightline, but keeping range versus most heroes. I won't even say most compositions, because compositions are composed of heroes, right? I think.
But it's also, yeah, it's kind of like, I don't even want to say it's like a confidence thing, but it's like you said, like if there's not something threatening me like Sojourn Rail or like a Widow, it's like I can be more comfortable just sitting in that open space for a little bit and just spamming.
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
think, yeah, I'll just, because in this VOD I'm just noticing like there's nothing really, like they switched off Widow, so there's nothing really immediately threatening to me at a range, so I can just spam it. But I was kind of hiding behind cover a lot.
Right, right. And I think the key thing is, even with the Widowmaker, you basically want to try and find a position where you could aggressively peek without peeking her. You know, it's like, it's so important that you need to find a position where she can't see you so that you could keep spamming and spamming and spamming and spamming and not hiding all the time. You kind of see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, if you can't, I mean, there's gonna be times where like you're gonna have to respect the Widow, and like I get it, but even then it's like try to find a position where she can't see you so that you can just keep your damage uptime up. All that makes sense?
Right. Yeah, definitely. I
don't think you're trolling with Zen. I think you were doing fine. You're doing fine. Could have been a lot better. There's some details here and there, but I think your Zen was fine. And don't let your lack of confidence in it like affect you, because remember, it's all about like building good habits, even if you don't have the skill just yet. You know, you'll develop the skill if you put yourself in the right position for it. Right.
Right.
Okay. Any questions before we hop over to Ana?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, let's keep it, because a lot of the same things with Ana too, right? You know, sniper weapon, high pressure output with nades, sleep dart, and your damage. You know, you could definitely duel people up close sometimes, but like it's all about like doing things essentially with Ana, right? Doing things.
Yeah.
You are doing things right now. You are going to win the fight based off of that sleep dart and that nade. You are doing things. How much healing have you done? 100, you know?
Yeah, like
right?
virtually
But you just won the fight, so doing things. Nice. Love to see it. Doing things. You missed the nade, but you had the right intention. If you hit that nade, what does that Moira have to do?
Back up,
yeah,
or use her fade
right,
as well. Yeah.
Right, she's fade and she's still half HP, right? She probably also has to use her heal orb. So you've used one cooldown and forced 2, and you have a higher chance of actually killing her. So love to see it. Yeah. Now you look at their composition, and again, it's kind of like this Zenyatta, where it's like, why on earth would you want to get close to any of these guys? You know. So let's think about your positioning here, all right? Obviously cover usage, but where should you be?
I would say, well, kind of, the Sombra wasn't there, but I don't know that. I mean, maybe around one of those columns.
Sure, why not? Just go here, mate.
Or even to the right.
Yeah, like, so that works too, you know? Just a little bit of cover here. You've got a little bit of distance here. You could be here, you know? All right, let's keep going. So you're super slow in your sleep dart here. There's at least 2 or 3 uses for your sleep dart before you actually use it. Number 1, you see it?
Yeah.
Sleeper.
Sombra.
You're like, well, I'm gonna miss it. I don't care. Sleeper. She's close. It's a reasonable chance that you're gonna hit the sleep dart here. Even if you don't hit the sleep dart, it might force a translocator. If you do, she might die. Good value, right?
Yeah, but I'm honestly hesitant using my sleep dart on Sombras only because I feel confident I could hit a shot on them and force them to TP.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
Or yeah, and just.
So your argument is fine. Sure. I live for it. The reason why I would sleep a Sombra is because there's a higher chance you can kill the Sombra if you sleep her. You kind of see what I'm saying? But your logic's fine. I'm totally fine with it. Okay. Sleep the Doom, right?
Yeah.
Sleep the Doom, right? He just used a cooldown right in front of you. Use him. Use it. Get the kill. Sleep him now. Right? Even now, right? And then even when you see the Death Blossom, it's like you kind of forgot that you had the ability. It takes you like a full 1.5 seconds to actually use the cooldown, and then obviously you miss an 8, and that's going to be it. Okay.
Right.
Your idea versus this is that I might need a sleep dart to keep myself alive versus Reaper, Doom, Sombra. However, if I have the opportunity to sleep one of them, my using the sleep on them is what's going to keep me alive. In other words, you don't have to wait for the Doomfist to dive you to hit the sleep dart. If you sleep the Doomfist there and you kill him or do damage to him, he will no longer be able to dive you. And so your sleep dart indirectly kept you alive. Do you see that?
Yeah.
It's like using your nade offensively so that you don't have to use it defensively. That's great. Good nade, terrible aim. You know, because again, like if that nade hits the Doom, that guy's not going to be trying to think about diving you. At least he's going to have to use his ult early. It's going to force a big mess, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, good nade. No. He's above you. Watch where he lands. Look at this guy. He wanted to get the wall punch. He wanted to kill your Pharah. He's doing it for the vine, bro. You're doing it for the vine. Coward. Good nano. Middle of a fight. She's in the middle of a fight, so it's fine. Good nade. Now, why is this all feeling so chaotic from your end? Critique your positioning.
Just right out in the open.
Not only right out in the open, but consider your proximity.
Yeah, I'm kind of like right up in the fight.
Yeah, you really are.
I don't really need to be that close.
Right. Now, sometimes it's okay to do that. What is easier to land when you're up close?
A nade and a sleep.
Yeah, everything, right? Exactly. So if you go for something like this because you're gonna go for a big pop-off fight, I get it, but you just don't want to be here forever generally. So you know, was there a better position here? Yeah, maybe it would have been better to be here. Maybe it would have been better to never actually even drop off of the high ground. Instead, maybe rotate to this position here, right? I have a couple of critiques. I'm not going to give you the answer because you need to go figure it out on your own. My point being though is that in the heat of the battle here, this is going to feel messy. If it's worth it for you to land the nade, I'm down for it. Just understand that there's going to be drawbacks.
Right. In hindsight, I think that maybe the reason for that could be sometimes if I don't know, because you can't control where your team's going to be, I guess my compensation for that is like I'm just going to be on them.
Yeah.
To make sure they don't die or whatever. But
my challenge is don't memorize positions, but to make the best of the position that you're given with where your team fights. So for example, if your team is fighting here and you had to drop off to fight them, okay, then where's the best position? If the fight's happening right here, where's the best position you could have been? Was it literally here? No. Where would have been better than there?
I think I'd probably say either by that doorway to the right or on top of that bridge.
Sure. And honestly, even if you had dropped, being here would have been better than being here, right? So if you got to fight here, just be here. Make the best, make lemonade out of lemons or whatever they say, So that's my point here. Don't sweat about like, oh, I have to be in the perfect position. Just have some non-negotiables, Like I needed cover there. There was no excuse for me not to have cover there. That was kind of what you need to be looking at here. Somebody had a little bit of an internet issue. Wait, did you?
Oh, what happened?
Wait, that's so weird. Check this out. So from your perspective, your poor monkey friend is walking into the wall. You see this?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But from his perspective, check this out. This is super trippy. He's like asking for healing? Like, I don't even know. That's weird. That was super
Yeah,
weird.
I saw that in the game. I was like, oh god, I hope he's not going AFK right now.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be fat. I think this is actually pretty well aimed. Let's see. Okay, we gotta watch the projectile here. You need some classical music playing along. Come on.
Sure, it's hitting the Reaper.
Ah, it's right in the kneecap. That's okay. Good nade. Get some damage out there. Oh, what's wrong with your positioning?
In the open.
In the open. Your range is perfect. I would not be any further or any closer. You could hug here. You could hug here. You could hug here. You could hug here. Sayonara. Oh, yep. No way. You lived. No way. Come on. I can smell blood. Here it comes. Yes! Let's go. Nice. Do you see how much more relaxing it is? When you're at like this distance, Good shot. The only thing I would say here is if I was coaching your micro here, what should you be doing right here? Do you see it?
I don't know. I mean, maybe shooting these dudes in the back because
yeah, free damage, right? Free damage. Now, if I was coaching your micro in terms of your positioning, what else would I say?
back out.
Come
in the
on,
open.
man. Come on, man. Yeah. Good shot. Good nade. I would have used my sleep dart though. You see how they're diving your Winston. So what does that mean for your sleep dart?
You just gotta come out.
It's got to come out, right? You don't need sleep dart for yourself. They're diving your Winston. They're not diving you. If you hit this sleep here on this Reaper or this Somber or this Doom, your Winston survives.
Yeah.
You know? Oh. Well, okay. Well, you hit it. Run. Ah! Nice. Hey, all right, let's go. Now you're really close, and I'm okay with that because you got a nade and a sleep dart. So just plug the cover here. Nice. Never mind, I'm the worst coach in the world. Okay, but you kind of see what I'm saying, right? Like it's all right, but you got to land the cooldowns. You got to get it quick because it is still a risky position for you to be. If they even without Death Blast in there, they've got Cole, right? So you got to worry about that. They got damage orbs, so you got to worry about that. There's a lot of things that can kind of mess you up. I mean, you are a Grand Maul. That's kind of the way the lore works. So
you know what I hate is when I'm trying to hit a nade and I'm like right behind the tank or like a DPS pops into my view and I hit them.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. All right, downtown.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's gonna hit too. That's gonna hit. Oh no, they get booped back. Wait, what did it hit?
It might have just come up just short, I think. Yeah. Yeah,
they get booped back by your Winston, and they all disengage. That sucks. That's okay. But see, you could just shoot here, right? Maybe not even need to. Alright, you're gonna win this, I know it.
Nah, I wouldn't give this VOD if it's,
I mean, it doesn't matter as long as it's a close game, right? That's all that matters.
Yeah.
As long as it's competitive. Good nade. Only hits Doom, which is a little unfortunate, but that's gonna force an early block. Nano.
Yeah.
You first off, use the nano. Second off, why do you die here?
Standing in the open, Bastion. I think, did I sleep the Bastion? I don't know.
You die here to a Reaper flank, but the funny thing is, the funny thing is the majority of the damage you take is indeed from the Bastion on the front line. So if you'd simply hugged cover here, you would have been in a better position to deal with the Reaper, and you would have not taken the damage from the Bastion.
Yeah.
That's actually a disaster. Okay, let's take a look at the King's Row VOD, see if we get a couple other things to add on. So, you know, the cover usage is definitely a big issue, I think. Well, what else are you seeing so far?
I think, you know, looking for... I think that another big thing is like damage. I think it could be putting out more damage to the back line or just squishies in general.
Sure.
Like those opportunities where I'm shooting the Doom, you know, are kind of like pointless when he's at full HP or he's blocking or something. I might I mean, even those little moments, even if I just shoot him once, it's still kind of a waste of a shot.
Yeah.
So it's like...
True. Might be feeding punch or something too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay. Let's keep going. So cover usage, maybe a little bit more offensive pressure with. I feel like you're doing a pretty good job with your nades. You know, obviously you're missing some of them, but like your mindset is there, right? Maybe getting a little too close. Maybe need to do more offensive pressure on squishies. Let's keep watching.
But also, just from a mechanical perspective, do you think like just the way I'm spamming shots to my team, like no scoping or I don't know. I feel like the only problem I have with that sometimes is when I'm trying to heal a Genji and he's jumping around and stuff.
I think it's okay.
I never really scope in when I heal.
I would scope in at range whenever you can, but what I would do is like what I would do is there's so much like weapon play detail with Ana, right? So the way that you improve at it is like the way that you improve at anything else. You need to like isolate like one aspect of your weapon play that needs to improve, which might be like you need to scope in more when you're healing at range, right? Or you need to be shooting squishies more instead of just turning off your brain and just holding down mouse one at a tank, right? Just work at it in detail, right? Pick one, improve the detail. That's all I really want to see.
Yeah.
Right. When it comes to like the, oh, am I unscoping too much? I mean, I don't know. You tell me. You know what I'm saying? Like, take a look at your gameplay. Are there any circumstances where you should have been scoped when you weren't? Just take a look at it.
Yeah.
That nade hit misses. It's a good nade. It just misses.
Yeah.
This is another situation though where it's a little bit of the Zenyatta mindset, right? Where obviously Sim can kind of light you up, so you got to be careful of that. But like, okay, you get a Sim orb, you get shot by Reaper. You know, shoot the Genji here. Seriously, shoot the Genji. You have enough HP. Shoot the Genji. You know, and so then by the time you miss that opportunity, so then look at the Genji. You see what I'm saying?
But sometimes I hesitate to shoot someone who's like pocketed. Like I'll try to shoot the Mercy instead. But if I see someone pocketed, I usually just don't shoot them at all. Or do you think it's still worth it to shoot?
That's absolutely worth it. Make the Mercy heal beam and not damage boost. Even with a nerf, like that's less damage, and it's gonna force a Genji, and Genji will react slightly. Maybe he'll miss one more shuriken because he ducks behind a cover. Like you could, by hitting a shot on Genji, you could put him at an HP to where your Reaper could one-shot him, or your Echo could get him to beam this HP. Or you would just simply save 60, 70 damage that would be done to your Orisa because he's not going to be damage boosted, or he's going to miss a shuriken or something like that, right? Just think about like squeezing every little bit of value out with the people that you're targeting, not because the micro is so incredibly important, but because the micro happens so incredibly often, right? Like how many times is like, oh, I should have shot that squishy? How many times does that feel like that's been a factor? It feels like every fight, right? Like every fight, right? So. Here's a question. Do you feel like you know when you should scope and when you shouldn't scope? I don't want to assume that.
Yeah, I think I really use it if I know it's going to be hard to hit somebody. Either, like, I mean, even in that situation, like, if someone's crit, like the Echo, and I really just want to get, like, a guaranteed heal, I'll take the time to scope in. But generally, if I'm just sitting behind a pack, like my whole team, I'll just spam no scope shots.
Okay. I would look to scope at range, and then I'd look to unscope at point blank, at the shorter ranges or on easier to hit targets.
Yeah. Or like sometimes if I'm like, I mean, this is like more rare, but usually in the earlier games when I'm not like totally warmed up mechanically, like if my tank is in front of me, like a Zarya or something, and she's crit and I'm missing all my no scopes, I'm like, oh my god, like. I'll just scope in.
Right, but don't do that. Don't do that. Break that habit.
Yeah.
Because if it's not the right play, don't ever do it. Because you need to be able to do it, right? If it's objectively bad, don't build the habit. Don't, if you're like, oh, I can't make the jump, so I'm gonna compensate elsewhere. Well, that you've just put a hard cap on how good you're gonna get now.
Right.
By doing that, right? Just take a second, aim the shot. Do you know when to quick scope? And do you know how to quick scope? I don't know how hard it is on console.
Generally, like, the only situation I could think of is if I'm in a 1v1 situation is Ana. If there's maybe like, if they're not like right in my face. If it's like a Widow or a Cass, and they get a shot on me, and I feel like I need to get like a quick shot out, like a quick guaranteed shot, I'll do it.
Okay.
But if I'm at like full HP and someone's close to me, I'm usually just no scoping them because I feel comfortable hitting a shot.
Sure. The value of quick scope is that it's hit scan, right? It's instantaneous and it's hit scan, right? The downside of scoping is that your field of vision is tiny, right? And you slow, right? It slows you down when you're scoped, right? Your movement speed, so you're easier to shoot. So the reason you quick scope is so that you don't stay in that scope animation for long, but you get the benefit of being hit scan. Does that make sense? Yeah, so you'll see people quick scope a lot in certain circumstances. They'll quick scope like a Hanzo or a Widowmaker because they don't want to stay scoped in because it makes it easier to shoot. So they'll quickly quick scope to get the shot off, right? But it's too far away for an unscoped shot, maybe, to be accurate, all right? or they'll quick scope a Genji and Tracer in close range because it's a little bit tricky to land the unscope shot. Okay, this is pre-patch. Now I don't even know because they increased the did you see that with the Ana change yesterday?
Oh, did they? I didn't look at the.
They increased the size of the damage darts when it's unscoped by a little bit. So you know how you have like aim assist with heal shots on your team? Like your team's hitboxes are bigger than enemy team's hitboxes, basically, or the heal node. Well, now it's like that with a little bit with that with damage too. So anyway, just interesting to know. But anyway, long story short is like quick scoping is essentially
they buffed her.
They buffed her. They nerfed her damage from 75 to 70 though.
Oh, okay.
But
that's fair.
Yeah, but it's an interesting change. So keep an eye on that one. I'm curious to see if you find it easier to land unscoped shots. But anyway, long story short, quick scoping is something that you use whenever there's like something that's hard to hit. You need to get that hit scan, but you don't want to stand still to do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So your wrist is healthy enough right now. Like you need a shot on that Symmetra. Like right there, this Symmetra needs to be shot. You know, this Moira needs to be shot desperately if you can, because that's what's gonna keep your Orisa alive, not pumping more healing into her.
Right.
Good shot. I mean, watch this. One shot you've landed. Weird visual bug. But, bam! Look at that. 78.9 HP. Dude, one more shot and she's dead. You know, from basically, but you're so close. That nade's a little blind. And by blind, I don't think you really knew who you were aiming for there. You just kind of threw it. Yeah. Too close. Good nade. Oh, this is so much chaos. Come on. No! See, this is what kills me. Watch this. I know this is the OT stress, right? Your Mercy's dead. You must shoot this Moira. You must. Look at her. Look at her. Wait, how much HP does she have? 73. Oh, no. Come on.
Oh, man.
Oh, okay. We're good. Surely we're good. Yeah, okay, we're good.
You know, it's so interesting because, like, when I actually first started playing Ana, like, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, like, I was playing more in that mindset of, like, hitting damage, and then for some reason I just like reversed it.
Yeah.
But like I was winning more games. I felt like I was having more of an impact, and then I don't know now.
Yeah, I don't think it's all about just, you know, damage or whatever. And I think it's just about like reading the battlefield. Where does my resource like actually matter here? You know, if I've got a Mercy that's half HP, I need to heal the Mercy, right? If I got a Hanzo or a Genji that's half HP, I need to heal them, right? I mean, especially now because your healing technically is more than your damage, right? The amount of resource it gives, but it depends, right? It very much depends. You got an Orisa fortified at 3/4 HP. It's better to shoot the squishies there. Way better to shoot the squishies there. That's the better support thing to do, if anything. You kind of see what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, so Ana, what are some small goals? I guess same thing with Zen.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway for me as of now is just the positioning. I think that's like a clear. I think that might actually be the #1 problem I'm facing. So I think just making a conscious effort to play around corners or play around cover for the most part is smart. And then just being more aware of, like, you know, like you said, like, if, at least from Ana's perspective, if people are not crit, might be better to poke some shots out to the back line or just enemy squishies. I guess some more little things. Don't be afraid to use sleeps ahead of time, not just when I'm under pressure. I think those would be the biggest takeaways for me.
I guess the mindset with sleep dart is that, like, if somebody else is being dove or being pressured, then that person is not pressuring you, therefore you don't need to sit on your sleep dart. You see what I'm saying? Like, they've committed their dive elsewhere, so why save with your sleep dart? Your sleep dart is to prevent dives, right? Or to set up offensive opportunities. But if those offensive opportunities or dives are happening away from you, then what is it there for? You know, you don't need it. So you might might as well share the love, you know? So, okay. Any questions?
No, I think I got enough stuff to work on.
Okay, sounds good. Don't forget the stuff on the warm up and like the getting your mental focus. That's something that you're gonna wanna toy with maybe